Hi guys, I'm Rick. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making pressure cooker steak tips in a red wine gravy. Okay, I'm starting out here. I have 2 packs of eye of round steak, and this isn't a very tender cut of steak, but I'm going to cut it small into bite-sized pieces of tips, and we're going to pressure cook it, so that should make it nice and tender. So I'm going to go ahead and get that cut down into the tips. Okay, now that I have my steak all cut up into tips and I trim the excess fat off, I have my 6-quart stovetop pressure cooker warming up. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil in here, and I'm going to brown those beef tips up. And I'm going to do them in batches, that way they'll get nice and brown, because they're going to put off some liquid as they brown. Okay, now that my beef tips are all nice and browned up and I pulled them out, I have 1 medium onion I diced up. I'm going to throw that in there and saute it just for a minute or two to start to soften it up. Okay, now that my onion's starting to soften up and turn translucent, I'm going to return my beef tips or steak tips back into the pressure cooker, and I drained some of that juice off while they were browning and I saved that. Now I'm going to add in 4 cups of beef broth, and I have my heat up on high. I'm also going to add in a ½ a cup of red cooking wine. You can use regular red wine too. I just happen to have cooking wine on hand. I'm going to put some pepper in here. About a ½ teaspoon. I'm not going to add any salt because that cooking wine and that beef broth already has salt in it. Okay, I'm going to put a teaspoon of onion powder, and even though I have the onion in there, this here will give a more intense, different onion flavor. So about a teaspoon of that. A teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay. Give that a quick stir. And I'm scraping the bottom of the pressure cooker to get up that goodness that seared on the bottom of the pan, or the pot rather. You can do this with an electric pressure cooker also. I just chose to use my stovetop one today. Now I'm going to seal my lid on here. Okay, put my little weight on here. Now I'm going to bring this up to pressure. This will get rocking around. Turn it down to medium and let it pressure cook for 20 minutes. Alright, my 20 minutes are up. I did a manual release on the pressure and I pulled all of my steak tips out. Now it's this beef broth. Let's see a little steak tip in there yet. So this beef broth, I have a cornstarch slurry I'm going to stir in here to make the gravy. And I'm going to turn my heat up on high to get this boiling. A little more in because it's starting to thicken already. Okay. Now I have some sliced mushrooms here. I'm going to add some in. I didn't put these in the beginning because they would have turned to mush in that 20 minutes, and we still want them to keep some of their texture. So I'm going to add in roughly about a cup and a half. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up to a boil and let this gravy thicken just for a little bit, and then we'll return our beef cubes back in there. Alright, now my gravy's starting to come up to a boil and thicken. I'm going to add my beef cubes in. This only took like a minute. I'm going to reduce my heat down a little bit and just let this slow cook just for a minute to thicken that gravy up and cook those mushrooms through just a bit. Okay, this went for about 5 minutes. It's done. It's ready to go. Let's go ahead and fix up a plate and see what we got. I also went ahead and made some red skin mashed potatoes and French style green beans for on the side. So there you have it, pressure cooker steak tips with red wine gravy. Give this a try. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see ya.